This
From
conference will
Dombivli.
now be recorded.
College emphasizes on high values, professionalism, social sensitivity, and dynamic entrepreneurship. Through all this, it encouraged global proficiency and philosophy without diminishing the importance of national interest. Importance has been given to impart higher education to the younger generation with innovative academic programs. Today, we are gathered for 2 days faculty development program webinar on investment opportunities in collaboration with Bombay Stock Exchange Brokers Forum, Mumbai, jointly organized by IQAC and Career Guidance and Placement Cell. Now, without further ado, we will turn the time over to presenter. Our presenter today is Dr. V. Aditya Srinivas. Sir is apparently working as Chief Operating Officer and Chief Economist at the Bombay Stock Exchange Brokers Forum. Sir has totally 16 years of corporate experience. He has represented India at Harvard University, USA, South Korea, Japan, Maldives, Oman, Dubai. Sir has taken more than 2,000 sessions on Indian economy, stock market, and trained more than 65,000 participants across India.
They
Sir
are
is
rolling in.
qualified. Sir is qualified in BBA Finance, MBA Finance, PhD Economics, MGP IIM Ahmedabad, CWM, ISO 9000 lead auditor. Sir has also presented 23 research papers in national and international conference and have published 35 research papers. It's a pleasure to introduce such great personality. A very warm welcome to you, sir. Over to you. Thank you.
Ma'am, yes. Ma'am, thank you very much for giving me this introduction. I would really like to take this opportunity and thank Shri Dombivalli Mitra Mandal's KM Patel Senior College of Commerce and Science for organizing this national level webinar for faculties on investment opportunities. Friends, this is something very, very critical time for all of us, but at the same time, it can be productively utilized for creating a good portfolio. To start with, friends, see right now, if you see today there are 185 countries in the world which are suffering from COVID-19, and because of this coronavirus problem, there has been lockdown, and India is also witnessing lockdown for the last more than 2.5 months. Slowly and gradually we are unlocking, but the economic damage that has happened is already tremendous. Here, if we try to analyze, friends, our current GDP of the country has come down to only 3.1%. Current GDP of the economy is only 3.1% as compared to our normal average of 7.5%. And this 3.1% GDP is at 44 quarters low. So you can understand the kind of economic damage that has already happened in the country. Apart from this, if we basically understand, IMF's International Monetary Fund has projected that Indian economy may grow at 1.9% GDP for the next whole year as compared to 1% GDP growth of the whole world. So that means, as per IMF's definition, whenever the world GDP is less than 2%, we say that we are in a recession. So the world is likely to face a recessionary kind of scenario. And in this situation, to analyze investment opportunities and to create a portfolio is very vital, so that in the future when times becomes good, you are able to get the benefits of it. The main reason, friends, why the world has a confidence on India. Initially, I'll explain about our economic strength, and then we'll go to the investment opportunities. So initially, to understand that why Indian economy is looked upon as a silver lining in this entire gloom and doom, there are three major examples. See, friends, in last 20 years, our average GDP has been 7.5%, whereas the world average has been 2.5 to 3%. Now, if we take three major global financial crisis examples. Number one, 2008 global financial crisis. 2008 global financial crisis, where in that particular year, the world economy's GDP was only 1.5%. India's GDP was 6.3%. Our GDP was 6.3%. World's GDP was only 1.5%. As a result, obviously, our economy performed very well as compared to world economy. 2011 European Union crisis. In 2011 European Union crisis also, if we see, our GDP was 7%, world's average was 2.5%. World's average was only 2.5%. And recently, if we talk of this current thing, recently 2015, that is China crisis, just 5 years back, there was a Chinese economic crisis. Even that time, our GDP was 7.5%, world's average was 3%. So if you see broadly speaking, in the last three global major financial crises which hit the world economy, in all the crises, Indian economy performed very well as compared to world crisis. And that is the reason why everybody wants to focus on our economy. If you see last to last year, Samsung started that its largest mobile manufacturing plant in Gurgaon, largest mobile manufacturing plant. IKEA, which is IKEA, IKEA, which is the largest what I can say furniture making company, started their first store in Hyderabad, and they are planning to open 22 such stores in India by 2024. So basically all major global companies wants to set up their shops
Hello,
here.
sir, your voice is breaking.
uh, Ma'am, I have
Sir,
not done
repeat
anything
once
wrong.
again now what you have said. What
Sure,
is the
sure,
name of
sure.
the company?
Sure, ma'am. Again, I'll repeat it. See, basically, if you take last 2 years, then Samsung opened its largest mobile manufacturing plant in Gurgaon. Samsung opened. Clear. Then second was IKEA, IKEA. IKEA is world's largest furniture making company, which started its store in Hyderabad, and they are planning to open 22 such stores across India. So this shows, friends, the strength of Indian economy, that how global companies want to make Indian economy a part and parcel of their investment portfolio. Apart from these, friends, if we basically see, there are three key strengths of our economy, three major strengths of Indian economy. Which are these three strengths of Indian economy? Number one, if you see, demographic dividend. Demographic dividend means today out of 185 countries in the world, India is the only country where we have more than 70% of people less than 35 years of age, and 70% of people less than 35 years of age. So which ensures that we have highest number of young working people, highest number of young working people we have. So that is something very vital. When we have highest number of young working people, that means it will create demand and consumption, and in the long term we will be able to generate good amount of money out of them, because demand consumption gets created in the economy. The average age of an Indian is only 26 years as compared to the average age of a US person, which is 43, China 42 years, Europe 47 years, and Japan 52 years. That means, friends, all these countries are facing a problem of aging population. They have more number of old people in their economy as compared to our economy, where we have large number of young people. So when young people are there in an economy, it is very simple, friends, that our economy will have more demand and consumption, and as a result our long term growth of economy will be much higher as compared to these developed nations. So this is something which we need to keep it in mind. Apart from this, friends, if we try to analyze, apart from this, the second important aspect is basically domestic consumption. See, when we talk of domestic if we talk of domestic consumption, in case of domestic consumption, whatever we manufacture, whatever we are manufacturing in India, 80% of that is consumed by our own people. 80% of that is consumed by our own people, as compared to other countries which are export dependent. We only export 20% of our total production. So we are not an export dependent economy. Like in case of China and Japan, we are not an export dependent country. Please understand that our economy is based on our own demand and consumption, so which ensures that in the long term our economy has more prospects to grow as compared to other countries which are dependent on external factors. So that is the second point what we are looking at. The third aspect key of our economy is high savings rate. See, today India's saving rate is 27% of GDP. The world's average is 21%. India's average is 27%. The world's average is 21%. saving results into capital formation into investment, and investment into asset creation. So this is something which we need to understand. So when we have basically savings ensure that our people are able to deal with any crisis much more confidently as compared to US and Europe people who typically come under pressure since they have a lot of EMI standing. That is one thing. And second, basically when their EMIs are standing and their job goes away or there is an income in problem, they immediately face winding up situations. So this is something we have to keep it in mind, friends. So once again, I repeat broadly that Indian economy's key strength is demographic dividend, young working people, domestic consumption, that is we consume 80% of the things in India itself, and third, high savings rate. So because of these three features, our economy generally performs very well as compared to other countries in the world. Now, friends, in this basically situation, going ahead, if you feel that what is the outlook of Indian economy and basically investment opportunities. See, here right now, if we are talking of investment opportunities, I would categorically suggest six things which one should do during this lockdown so that slowly and gradually you become financially independent. And if you are already doing these things, you should consolidate and continue. See, the first asset class should be cash with you. You should have sufficient amount of cash, keeping in mind 5 to 6 months of expenses. For example, if your monthly expense is 20,000 rupees, you should have 20,000 into 5 months, 1 lakh rupee cash in hand or in your savings bank account so that you can withdraw immediately through ATM. So this will ensure, friends, that you are not having any liquidity problems and you are able to meet your day-to-day expenses very easily, and you are able to tide with life without any much of difficulty. So one thing is very clear, that you need to have your liquid cash in hand. From a corporate perspective, if I tell the same example, they should have sufficient amount of high liquid ratio, that is ability to meet short term payment obligations. Liquidity should be there. See, there have been cases where companies had good amount of assets but they did not have liquidity, so obviously that will create problems in the long term. So this point, friends, you have to keep it in mind. This is something very very vital and important. That is the first point of cash as an asset class. Second basically point, if you see, the best opportunity right now is to create an equity portfolio because Indian stock markets have already corrected by 35%. See, we were at all-time high of 42,000. We were at all-time high of 42,000 levels, and from there we came down to 25,000. 25,000 in the month of March. On March 24th, we made a low of 25,600. But from there, you see the market has rebounded like anything, and we are right now at 34,000. So market has given a return of 30%, friends, 30% in last 2.5 months. So you can understand the kind of return stock market gives if you are properly invested in good companies. So right now there is a very good opportunity for you to create a portfolio out of BSE Sensex companies. That is the top 30 companies of BSE, Bombay Stock Exchange, which makes the BSE Sensex index. See, in totally in BSE there are 5,400 listed companies. Out of these 5,400 listed companies, 30 companies are listed in BSE Sensex itself. So if you are able to select stocks from this, for example, every month you can buy one or two Reliance Industries, then HDFC Bank, HDFC Limited, then Hindustan Unilever. If you accumulate these stocks over a period of time, friends, in the long term, trust me, you will generate sufficient amount of capital for yourself. Sufficient amount of capital you will generate, and you will be able to live a very happy and a secure financial freedom life. So my advice is that you can definitely create a good portfolio out of BSE Sensex stocks. That is something very very vital what you can always consider at creating. Sensex stocks, why I am so much insisting? Because of two reasons. One, they are the largest companies of India, most profitable with large balance sheets. So they are able to withstand any economic downturn, any recession kind of situation. And most importantly, when market starts improving, these are the stocks which will first bounce back. So they will immediately bounce back and come back to normalcy. So this is something, friends, you will have to keep it in mind. Clear? This is something you have to keep it in mind. So that is why buying these stocks is fundamentally very important and beneficial from a long-term perspective. Buying these stocks and holding them for longer duration will ensure that you are able to generate sufficient amount of capital appreciation over a period of time. So this is something you will have to keep it in mind. That is the second aspect. Third, if you take basically asset class is mutual funds. See, mutual funds is an indirect way to invest in stock market. It is an indirect way to invest in stock market. See, those people or those who do not have either of these three things. See, for investing in stock market, now friends, you need three things. Number one, you have to give time. You have to give time to the stock market. That means you should have time to devote to stock market. Number one. Second, you should have proper knowledge, domain knowledge. Domain knowledge, when I say, it refers to the person should know what is happening in US economy, European economy, what is the monetary policy there, what monetary policy is India having, what is our GDP growth rate. This kind of economic data one should be thoroughly aware of, because then only you can project that how you will be able to understand that what kind of decisions regarding investments you can take. So this point you will have to keep it in mind. So that is the second important aspect you need to keep it. That is uh, time, time and knowledge. Third vital aspect is capital, friends. See, basically today one Reliance Industries is at 15501. So even if you buy 10, you will have to pay to the broker 15,500. Now, many people will not be comfortable shelling out 15,500 rupees in one shot. So basically, if you are short of capital, or if you are short on knowledge, or if you have knowledge and capital both but you don't have time to devote to stock market, then mutual fund is the cup of tea for you. Mutual fund, the benefit is, friends, you neither need time because there is a fund manager who is looking after your money. You don't need knowledge because fund manager will decide what to buy, what to sell. And third, you require just minimum 500 rupees monthly investment. SIP, systematic investment plan, is a product where with minimum 500 rupees a month you can invest and generate good amount of capital appreciation over a longer duration. Plus, in mutual fund, the biggest benefit is, friends, that it works on a principle of diversification. Every mutual fund scheme will invest in 40 to 50 stocks. So basically you have good amount of diversification, and with this diversification you will be able to create good amount of wealth for yourself in the long term. So keep this particular point in mind, friends, that knowledge, capital, and knowledge, capital, and time. If you have these three, yes, then direct investment in stock market is something for you. But if you lack any of them, then mutual fund is the best area where you can do a SIP and create wealth for yourself in longer duration. Please understand that, friends, whether it is direct investment in stock market or direct investment in mutual fund, ultimately they both will perform if Indian economy performs, because ultimately capital market is a reflection of economy. So if you are confident that India is going to perform well in the long term, yes, these are the asset classes where you should invest with a faith in our economy, so that in the long term we are able to make good amount of money out of them. This is something very, very vital and critical for your long term growth. Very, very important. This point you have to keep it in mind. The fourth asset class is basically gold, which normally people have a fascinating thing. How does gold perform? How does gold behave? See, please understand that gold as an asset class has an inverse relationship with three things: stock market, number one; second, world economy, number two; and third, US economy. That means that whenever there is a bad news coming out of any of them, gold prices will go up, and if there is any good news coming out of them, gold prices will come down. So please understand this particular point, that as far as basically gold is concerned, any bad news in the world economy is a good news for gold, and any good news in the world economy is a bad news for gold. It works inverse. Why? For the simple reason, friends, that gold is most liquid asset after cash. See, one may be having 1 crore rupees insurance policy. You may have a 5 crore rupees real estate, but can you sell it overnight? No, not possible. It is not liquid. Whereas gold is most liquid asset after cash, where you can easily dispose it off at any point of time, and that is why gold commands lot of premium in the long term. So what I try to understand is, friends, that in the long term, if you see, you can have at least 10 to 15% exposure in gold also. When I say gold, you should buy gold ETF units of gold, not that jewelry gold. Because in jewelry gold, what will happen whenever you buy jewelry gold, you are paying making charges, and whenever you sell, making charges are deducted. Plus, as time passes, there is depreciation in the priority of gold, so you will never realize the full value of gold. So when we are buying gold, I am referring to the units of exchange traded funds which are listed on stock market. ETF it is called as. You can buy HDFC Gold ETF, you can buy ICICI Gold ETF. Right now they are trading at some 4,200 rupees, whereas price of 1 gram of gold in physical market is 4,700 rupees. So the moment you buy a unit, you are already buying at 500 rupees lesser than the market price. So you can accumulate gold over a period of time by this method also. This is 1 unit of gold is equal to 1 gram. And secondly, friends, that when you are basically buying gold, you should have total, out of your total investment, 10 to 15% exposure in gold also. 10 to 15% exposure you can have in gold also, so that in the long term when you are buying gold, you will be making good amount of appreciation. See, today, friends, the world economies have integrated. Now, when the world economies have integrated, there are many chances that there will be some geopolitical tension between US and China, between US and Iran, and some or the other problems will crop up. So when these kind of problems crop up, obviously gold as an asset class may rise. So this point you have to keep it in mind, that when gold, you should be at least 10 to 15% exposure to gold should be there in your portfolio, so that in the long term you are able to make good amount of appreciation in that when equities market don't perform. But please understand, friends, that the moment, say for example, in next 3 to 4 months, if you ask me the outlook on gold, if a vaccine is found for COVID-19, you will see equity markets rising like anything and gold prices sharply coming down. Always remember the thumb rule: any good news in the world economy is a bad news for gold. Why? Because what will FIIs and hedge funds, the international institutional investors, what they do is that whenever they find basically good amount of good news, they will withdraw money from other asset class. They will withdraw money from gold and put it in equity markets. And whenever there is a bad news at the global level, they will withdraw money from equity markets and put it in gold. See, friends, please understand that no institution has unlimited capital. Everybody has a limitation on capital. So when they are investing in other asset classes, it is simply the capital which flows from one asset class to other asset class. So when equities don't perform, gold performs, and when gold does when equity starts performing well, gold does not perform. So always have this relationship in mind, and you can also consider gold as a part of your investment portfolio. Clear? The fifth asset class, which for understanding I am telling, is property or real estate. See, property as a real estate market had a very good term, had a very good time from 2003 to 2014. That time was extremely good. You buy any piece of property, you will get 30, 40, 50% appreciation. But unfortunately for last 5 years, the property market is down and out, and I feel that for another 4 years it will still be on the lower side. Why? The simple logic is, friends, that when property markets are on lower side, the reason is two: huge oversupply. There has been huge oversupply as far as property markets are concerned. Huge amount of oversupply. Every second company entered into real estate, every second company, and they feel that this is my cup of tea, and they created projects at unreasonable prices. Unreasonable price means today flats are called at 1 crore, 2 crore. Do you really think a common man will have that kind of money to buy? Absolutely not. And the result is today, friends, that in a city like Mumbai, 4 lakh houses are lying vacant, which are ready to use, lying vacant. Nobody is there to buy. And pan India, 12 lakh houses are lying vacant again. So keep this particular point in mind, friends, that as far as this is concerned, as far as real estate is concerned, you should buy a house only and only if you are going to open the door and live in it. Please do not buy any real estate property for investment purpose, for the simple reason that you will not have any major capital appreciation. Rather, your capital will thoroughly get blocked. Clear? They will thoroughly get blocked. So this particular point you will have to keep it in mind. So Always remember, as far as long term is concerned, it is better you go with equity and other mutual fund asset class rather than with a property, because in property for next 3 to 4 years I don't see any major uptick coming. It uptick will come only when basically things get sorted out and slowly and gradually builders reduce their price, and you can basically go into something known as affordable housing. Affordable housing are those projects, friends, which are low ticket houses. For example, in Gujarat, affordable housing is flats below 30 lakh rupees. So in that segment, yes, there is a lot of demand. In Mumbai, affordable housing is below 45 lakh rupees. Obviously, you will get in Navi Mumbai or even farther places than that. But then that is an area where, yes, still there is uptick in the demand, because the proper middle class person or a salaried person is basically buying those kind of houses. And in those houses, even the banks are comfortable giving loan, because it is a genuine common man who is buying. So there is no default in the loan repayment. The builder basically is making a small project, so even the builder is confident that as far as these projects are concerned, he will be able to sell all the houses. So it's a win-win for the buyer, the builder, and the bank. So this is something you need to keep it in mind, affordable housing. But as far as luxury houses or high ticket purchases are concerned, I'm sorry to say, hardly any appreciation again, even for next 3 to 4 years. And after
Light
COVID-19,
चालू
friends,
कर.
one thing I would like to highlight is that as far as COVID-19 is concerned, commercial real estate will see further downtrend for the simple reason that in the last 2 months, work from home. This is something what everybody has realized, that it is practically possible work from home. So whenever you are basically doing work from home, so why do companies need to pay to rentals to the office people? So basically, even if you see TCS, a company like TCS is clearly told that by 2025 they want to move 30% of their 30% of their staff from in the model of work from home. So that will ensure that they save usually on rentals. The moment you start saving on rentals, obviously that adds to your net profit. So commercial real estate will see further downtrend going ahead. That is what my feel is, especially after work from home has been popularly accepted in the corporate areas. Lastly, friends, uh, the last asset class what I want that one can consider is insurance. See, insurance is for protection, friends. Please do not compare it with return generation or wealth creation. The whole objective of insurance as an asset class is basically to ensure that you are able to create you are able to protect yourself and your near ones and dear ones in case of an unfortunate event. So in insurance, two things everybody must do. One is a Mediclaim. Mediclaim is basically something which will protect you from shelling out cash when you are hospitalized. So in Mediclaim, the cashless facility has to be there. It is very, very vital and important that you should have a proper cashless facility when it comes to Mediclaim plans. And second is basically term plan. Term plan is a plan where if you survive the term you don't get anything, but god forbidden if something happens, then the nominee will get huge amount of money. So that is basically called as a term plan. Term plan is very, very critical and important. In the end, it should be in the name of the bread earner of the family. The person who is earning, he in his name the term plan should be there. The whole objective of term plan is that in case of an unfortunate event, the nominee, that is the family members, will get huge capital, for example 50 lakhs, 1 crore, so that basically there is no issue as far as financial difficulties, financial problems are concerned. This is something, friends, we need to keep it in mind. So these two things are very vital as far as the insurance segment is concerned. So my ultimate take is that okay, in this COVID-19 times or during these times, if you are able to create a good portfolio, at least start creating a portfolio in stock market of Sensex companies. You have 5 months cash with you. You have some mutual fund SIPs and a slight portion in gold, and these two, Mediclaim and term plan, then you are able to financially protect yourself. You will be financially free person, independent person, and in the long term you will be able to create good amount of wealth and financial peace of mind for your near ones and dear ones. This point, friends, you need to keep it in mind. Clear about this? So with this, I would like to open the floor for question answer, so that last 20 minutes we can have good question answer session and I can solve all your doubts. The floor is open for question answers. Yes, ma'am.
Participants, one by one, please unmute yourself and ask the questions if you have, or you can put your questions in the chat box. I will ask, sir, on behalf of you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Prashant, sir. Do you have any question? Prashant, sir, do you have any question? Participants are requested to unmute yourself and ask questions one by one.
Hello, Aditi
Yes, sir.
sir.
Yes.
In present this particular circumstances of pandemic
Yes.
COVID-19, common man, as you know, common man generally, they don't invest in stock markets.
Correct.
And
Correct.
you are saying that we could, focus on Sensex and all other stuffs. So how to
Right.
recognize whether a particular stock is good? Because if we invest suppose 10,000 rupees and it goes down, then it will be very difficult for us to bear that particular burden.
Sir, please understand that when you are investing in stock market, na, invest with
Hmm.
only BSE Sensex companies. That is why I am telling, because these are the top 30 companies of India. See, India totally has 18 lakh companies, out of which 5,400 are listed on Bombay Stock Exchange. And out of
Hmm.
that 5,400, I am suggesting you the top 30. In that, if you still have a confusion or a fear, simply invest in only Reliance Industries. Reliance
Hmm.
Industries is India's largest and the most profitable company. So if you buy, say for example, today it is at 1550 rupees. You buy
Hmm.
say 10 stocks, so you are paying basically 15,000 rupees, correct? So
Hmm.
at least
Hmm.
in 2 months you will see that this price of 1650 will come. Clear. Basically it will surely go up by 100 rupee. So when these
Okay.
kind of things happen, you can again sell them. Or other option is that if you don't want to do trading, you can basically accumulate stocks every month. That every month you buy one Reliance, two Reliance, just like an SIP, right? Monthly
Okay.
saving scheme. Every month you can buy stocks and hold it for a long duration. So in those that situation, sir, trust me, you'll always make good amount of money. There is nothing to be afraid. There is nothing you should be afraid of.
Okay. Sir, one more question just related to
Please, please.
this.
Yes, yes,
Because
yes.
sometimes people they say that Nifty 50 is better than Sensex, and some say that Sensex is better than Nifty. So can you guide us?
See, basically, it is nothing like better or worse. The simple logic is BSE Sensex is the main index of Bombay Stock Exchange. Nifty is the main index of National Stock Exchange. So both exchanges have their premier indexes. So in BSE Sensex there are 30 stocks. In NSE Nifty there are 50 stocks. That is the only difference. So all our 30 stocks are also part of NSE Nifty. Now see, BSE Sensex was formed in 1979. It was formed in 1979. So at that time, Dow Jones was the main benchmark for the world. Even today,
Hmm.
that is the case. So we selected Dow Jones as a base. So in Dow Jones, there was 30 companies. We started with 30, and then somehow it got continued till date. Now
Hmm.
NSE was formed in 1995, so they went with
Okay.
even more broader index. So they have gone with 50 companies. Otherwise, it is nothing like this. You can take, if you will see that in Nifty, all the 30 companies of Sensex are already there. So there is nothing like this is good, that is bad. It is just a method of creating index. And globally also, if you see now, the all indexes will have stocks between 30 to 50, because that figures have been recognized as one of the best figures globally for basically having a good amount of diversification. Nothing else.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, there are too
Well,
many
sir.
other questions
Well,
which
sir.
we have in
Hello.
chat
Sure, ma'am.
box. One of them is
Hello.
that.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, yeah,
Hello.
Rajendra sir. Please go ahead. Yes, yes. Please
Just
go ahead.
I would like to know about the paper gold scenario. in the stock exchange right now?
Paper gold.
Yeah,
I'm not getting that question, sir. See, there is something known as sovereign gold bonds.
yeah. I want to know.
See,
Yeah,
basically, sovereign gold bonds are nothing but gold bonds issued by central government for raising of funds. Clear? See, basically, you can invest in these bonds also, and you will be getting interest on that, plus whatever capital appreciation may happen. That is altogether a different story. But again, if I
okay.
feel that if you really want to buy gold, now gold exchange
Yeah,
traded funds are more better option. Gold exchange traded funds, because in a gold ETF, what happens is you are already getting 1 gram of gold for 400-500 rupees lesser than the market price, for the simple reason
so,
that when you buy a unit of gold from ETF, exchange traded fund, there are no making charges, custody charges and other things. So obviously your cost of buying is less, so that always becomes a more better opportunity for you to buy gold. See, gold, please understand, sir, that will give returns only when there is some issues at the global level. Clear? If you compare gold with equity in absolute terms, then from 1979 till date, equity markets have given 16% return, 16.5%. Gold has given 8 to 9% returns only. But this 8 to 9% has come because in the year 2008, when global financial crisis had come, in that 1 year, gold had given 300% return. From 8,000 rupees, gold went to 33,000 rupees. So that is why you see the spike in the return of gold. Otherwise, if you take an average return of gold for last 100 years, it is only 6%, 5 to 6%. See, gold we basically buy because it is most liquid asset, and it is a kind of lender to the last resort. So for God forbidden, if there is some problem in the house, or there is some what I can say financial distress, you can always sell gold and immediately generate liquidity. So the whole
yeah.
objective of having gold is to protect oneself from financial distress, and because it is highly liquid. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Yes. Next question, ma'am.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello. Yes, sir. So
Yes,
basically,
sir.
my
Yes.
question is on ground level, economy is not doing that great, but still
Correct.
equity market is going up. So, what do you think? Which sector should perform in future after COVID?
Correct.
Which
See,
is the best
basically,
sector placed in the equity market?
yes. See, basically, what I feel, na, sir, that three sectors will perform very well. One is the healthcare sector, that is pharmaceutical companies will obviously perform better because COVID has already highlighted the importance of doctors, nurses, ward boys, and a proper medical system. So obviously, healthcare system, pharma companies will perform very well. Second, insurance sector. See, everybody has realized that in case of any unfortunate event, it is the insurance which will protect your family, your near ones and dear ones. So everybody will rush to take an insurance cover, especially Mediclaim and term plan. So insurance companies are likely to perform real good. Third basic thing is financial services. Financial services, when I say companies which gives you investment options. So in general, stock market, mutual funds, broking companies, these will all perform well. Banks, financial institutions, for the simple reason that people will now become more alert about their savings, investments, and they will be more cautious about future investments and about their financial goals and other things. So basically, these three sectors I am very bullish. Apart from this, automobile is one thing. See, after COVID-19, now most of people will prefer having to travel in a personal vehicle rather than going by public transport. See, Mumbai, Delhi are two exceptions because there the commutation is itself a challenge. So people have no option but to go with public transport. But otherwise, pan India, if you see, in any other city, people still prefer private transport only, personal vehicles. So going ahead, what I feel is that personal vehicles, so automobile sector may also see a huge amount of uptick in the economy. So this is something we have to keep it in mind. So automobiles, then financial services, pharmaceutical companies and insurance sector, these are the areas where I feel that lot of uptick will come.
But sir, you just mentioned about pharma. So
Hmm.
we have seen in March, pharma companies' sales were very good because of fear. So everybody was buying medicines and all. But in April, even in India as well as in America, 35% sales was down for pharma companies.
Sir,
So
but that was yes,
sorry.
sir, that was because there was a lockdown and the business was not as usual. But please understand that going ahead now, So today, see today when lockdown is again opening up, what people are doing? They are buying masks, they are buying sanitizers, they are buying drugs which they feel that should be there in the house, clear for emergency situation. So gradually you will see that as economy opens up, the push towards remaining healthy and safer will be even more. So in that case, pharmaceutical companies will have more better this thing to offer to the this thing, and government will also spend more money on public healthcare system, because in any case India spends only 3% of their GDP on public health system, whereas globally this percentage is 10%.
Okay. So basically, if we see longer term, then it will
Yes,
be
yes, it will 100%
it
it
will
will
be good.
perform. Yes,
Even in the case of insurance also, because in short term,
yes,
many people are going for insurance claim, because if anybody is going to hospital, then they are
I know, I
claiming
know.
insurance.
Yes, yes.
So insurance companies are going very
No, but sir,
deeply in
sir,
that.
but sir, even then, if you see now, the profits of insurance companies will always be more because they work on probability ratio. Clear? See, normally the probability is of 1:10. That how if 10 people are paying premium, one person dies. Now in COVID, you can take that ratio to say 3 or 4. So even then, they will be making a profit. So in the long term, these sectors will surely perform well.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay, sir, there are too many questions in the chat box. I'll be asking you one by one.
Sure, sure, ma'am. Sure.
Now, so the first question we have received is mutual fund that in the initial stage, while investing in mutual funds, so we go for SIP or some other stuffs.
Right. No, no, always basically go with the mutual fund SIP only. SIP is systematic investment plan. So whenever you are investing in systematic investment plan, that is always better, because monthly you will be paying only 500 rupees per month. Only 500 rupees a month you have to pay. So obviously it doesn't create any what I can say pressure on your wallet. That is number one. And second, basically you will always be able to create good wealth through SIP only, because it works on a concept of rupee cost averaging. So try to go with SIP. That is always a better option. Yes, ma'am. Next question.
Thank you, sir.
So the next question we have is regarding SIP only. Can you explain SIP that we can stop it in between or not?
You can stop SIP whenever you want, ma'am. There is no problem related to that. But please understand that do not stop an SIP if you have invested, or if you start an SIP, let it go for longer duration. You will not believe that I have done my SIP since 2007, and right now I am in 2020. My total SIP duration is of 35 years. See, you will always make good amount of capital appreciation in SIP, because simple reason that when every month you are buying through an SIP, your average cost will go down. So when your average cost of capital goes down, you will be definitely making good capital appreciation over longer duration. So this point we have to keep it in mind. So please never stop an SIP if your SIP is going. And if you have yet not started your SIP, please start an SIP of at least, see, 1,000 rupees per month. That will also help you to create some wealth in the future.
Okay, sir.
Clear?
Okay. So the next
Yes.
question we have is in this current market scenario, Nifty already retraced 10,000 above. Is this right
Yes.
time to invest?
Yes, you see, please understand that if you have a minimum 3 to 5 years of horizon, this is a good time to start investing in stocks gradually. See, there are two options you can do. Either one, as I said, you can start with an SIP, or second is you start buying Reliance Industries every month. For example, you buy two Reliance Industries every month, so that is a cost of 3,000 rupees. Clear? 1550 is the price of one share today. So every month you can buy two share, three share, and you keep on accumulating those shares over a longer duration. So when you accumulate those shares over a longer duration, obviously you will be able to generate good amount of wealth in the long term. See, please understand that buying in the long term on a monthly basis will ensure that ultimately you will be able to create good amount of wealth. So this point you have to keep it in mind. Clear?
Okay,
This is
sir.
something to keep. Yes.
Yeah. So there is a next question. Investing in penny stock will be beneficial?
No, ma'am. Please repeat the question. I did not get it. Huh?
investing in penny stock will be beneficial?
No, 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 not at all, not at all. See, penny stocks are those stocks whose market price is 50 paisa, 25 paisa. And why they are penny? Because these companies don't pay income tax to the government. They are not filing properly with stock exchanges. So the risk is that these stocks can anytime be delisted by the stock exchange, or they themselves may get delisted, voluntary delisted. So your chances that your investment becomes zero is very high. So please understand that rather than going in a penny stock, it is better you go with a standard stock, so that in the long term you are able to create good wealth. Please don't try to imitate yourself with penny stocks and these things. This will not help you in the long term. And plus, at the same time, you will not be able to generate any kind of wealth for yourself.
Okay, sir.
Yes.
So, how to identify good stock to investment?
See, basically any company you want to buy now. See, any company you want to buy, please understand that whenever you buy any stock, you will always have to check only two things which are very vital. One is basically, one particular important point is your this thing. What I can suggest, the company's net profit should be rising. If the net profit of the company is not rising, you should sell that stock, because if the net profit is not rising now, company won't be able to generate good return in the long term. So that is one thing. And second basic thing is that debt equity ratio of the company should be this thing, debt equity ratio should be low, because in case if the debt equity ratio is low, then there is no loan capital on the company, and if there is no loan capital, the company is bound to perform in the long term. So these two factors you should always see irrespective of any stock you buy. Yes.
Okay, sir. Here is the last question, I guess. What are the mistakes to be avoided during market crash?
See, whenever the market crashes, now please understand, never be afraid and sell out your stocks. See, if you simply follow my strategy, what I do, I'll personally share. My simple strategy is that whenever market crashes, now I rather buy BSE Sensex 30 companies. That too also only these top 7, 8. RIL, that is Reliance Industries, HDFC Bank, HDFC Limited, Hindustan Unilever, Asian Paints. See, these are those companies, please understand, friends, who run India. They are neither going to run away, neither they are going to shut their business. Clear. So when the market crashes now, or rather try to even buy more, because when the prices are low, see, we take a simple example that will make it clear. In the month of March, Reliance Industries had gone to 875 rupees. You take it 900. It went to 900. Now, had on that day you had invested 1 lakh rupee. So basically 100 shares of Reliance you are buying, correct? In just 2 months, it is at 1580 rupees. So you are making an absolute profit of 680 rupees on one share. So 100 shares are there. So what is the total profit you are making? 68,000 rupees is your total profit that you are making. So you have to understand it from this perspective, that on 1 lakh rupee, if you are getting 68,000 back, then you are making a return of 68% in 2 months time. Clear. See, please understand that you have to calculate return in percentage terms, not in absolute terms. See, today if I put an FD, if I put a fixed deposit in a bank, what will I get? I will get 5.75%. That is on 1 lakh rupee, I will get 5,750 after 365 days. Now if I put same 1 lakh rupee in Reliance Industries today, even today, today's date I am talking, I will get at least 15% return within next 3 to 4 months. So which is better? So you should not be afraid. Only thing is that buy only the number one companies. Don't go with mid cap, small cap, or penny stocks and try to apply your knowledge. Simple logic, go with the leaders and you will definitely make money. Simple thing.
Student ID. Okay, sir. Any more questions, participants? Any more queries you have? I guess queries are ended now, sir. Okay, there
Okay,
is
ma'am.
one query from Dinesh Patil, sir. What are the factors that decide the gold price?
See, gold prices are affected by international factors. So whenever internationally there is an economic problem, or there is a war-like situation, or there is a trade war, then definitely there will be a problem. So because of that problem, what will happen internationally? Gold prices goes up. Always remember, gold prices are affected by world economic data and geopolitical tension. That means if there is a problem between US China, there is a problem between US Iran, then in that particular situation, what will happen? That gold prices will start rising. If at the global level things are better, then gold prices will come down. Always remember, gold has an inverse relation. If there is a good news at the global level, gold prices will come down. If there is a bad news at the global level, gold prices will go up.
All right, sir. Thank you so much all for solving all our queries. Is there
Yes.
any other query, participants? You
Sir,
can put in the chat box.
sir, madam, may I ask one more question?
Sure.
Sir, you
Yes,
said
sir,
that,
please.
even real estate has, going to have a recession. But in this
Yes.
current scenario, whether it is advisable to have the rental housing, or we should go on outright purchase on loan, because EMI, if we are paying first 5 years, we are paying maximum, amount of interest. So what is your advice?
See, basically, please understand that it is better. As of now, I will feel that go with, if you want to have a house, go with a rented one only, because in rent house you don't have a financial obligation. In an EMI,
Hmm.
forget what the tax part is. If you take an
Hmm.
EMI, suppose I will give you take an example. In Bombay, even a normal flat will come to you at 75, 80 lakhs. Now, if you
Hmm.
take even 50% loan, 40 lakh rupees loan you take, so EMI is anywhere around 35 to 40,000. Now, God
Yes.
forbid, and if your job goes away, what will happen? See, in
Hmm.
this huge economic uncertainty, there is absolutely no point in taking any EMI on your head. Rather, therefore, this will COVID-19 will be a lesson for a lot of people. See, right now, who is the happiest person? A person who doesn't have EMI on his head. Trust me on this.
Correct.
Clear. See, in rent, you don't have a financial obligation. The moment you feel you are unable to pull it, you can say, "Why I want to vacate it." One notice, and you are out. So there is
Hmm.
no obligation. In EMI, you are under proper legal and financial obligation to repay the loan. Clear. And
Yes.
right
Yes.
now, with the way that the job market is looking bleak, the world economy in a mess, please do not take any fresh EMI for at least next 2 to 3 years.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Any other
Thank
query?
you.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, ma'am. Please go ahead.
Suppose I have taken mutual funds for 5 years, and at the time of the end up of 5 years, I'm seeing that the value of the mutual fund is down. So can I
Okay.
keep it for a longer time so that
Yes, yes, yes.
whenever I
See,
feel the value of
see,
that
see,
amount has
see,
increased, and I can
see,
like get it out of market?
yes, see, please understand, you can, once you have invested, you can keep mutual funds for as many years as you want. So there is no
Okay.
compulsion in taking out after 3 years, five. It is absolutely your money. You can keep it for 10 years, 15 years. Even you can gift that entire mutual fund investments to your next generation. So don't worry about that.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, one humble request. Please email me the list of participants. For my record purposes, I need their name, email ID, mobile number.
Sure, sir. We will do that, sir.
Sure, ma'am.
Any
Sure.
other
Thank you.
questions, participants? Okay, we will move forward for the last part of our session. On behalf of Placement Cell and College, I sincerely show my gratitude towards Bombay Stock of Exchange Forum for collaborating with us for the wonderful webinar. Thank you, everyone. We appreciate you being here. Thanks
Thank you, ma'am.
again for joining us today, and we will see you tomorrow. And thank you, Aditya sir, for solving all our queries. And I appreciate that you have solved all the queries and you have addressed all the questions
Thank you,
and
ma'am.
given us the enlightening session regarding the investment.
Okay.
Till then, I request all the participants to fill the feedback form which is there in the chat box.
Thank you,
Okay,
sir.
ma'am. Thank you.
Fill
Thank
the
you.
feedback form. Yeah. Just fill the feedback form and then leave the meeting. Thank you so much.
Thank you.